Good morning, my sweet little magnolias. Happy fucking Saturday or whatever day this finds you. Uh, Today's a fabulous day, y'all. Just believe it. Set your intention and believe it. Crazy, crazy weather swings right now. Whiplash weather. It's supposed to be 90 today or 89. And then tomorrow 86. And then Monday back into the 70s, which is my preferred weather. So I will be hibernating inside with the AC on today to keep me and the dogs cool. I don't fuck with small minds. That is our sweary affirmation for today. I got to share a couple of things with y'all before we go to the cards. First, my spirit team has been talking to me almost all week about not thinking small. We were not born with small minds. We were not born to think small. We were not put on this planet to live a small life. We were taught to think small. Think of things that in your life that you've been told by adults and well-meaning people. Money doesn't grow on trees. No pain, no gain. You have to work hard to get ahead in this world. Blah, blah, blah. That is small-minded thinking. Just saying. And so the universe is talking to me about this, like I said, for the last week or so. And I am going to, one of the things I'm going to do today is make a list of all the small-minded thoughts and sayings that reverberate in my brain on the regular and try to be more cognizant of that and figure out a way to flip the script. Well, money may not grow on trees, but the universe is my provider of everything I need. So I don't need it to grow on trees because the universe provides for me. Things like that, something shorter, obviously. And then the next thing they talked to me about, well, what they talked to me about this morning, hot off the presses, y'all, is don't regurgitate your war stories. Now, I don't know about y'all, but when I was growing up, I had a lot of men in my sphere that were veterans. And they'd sit around playing cards or whatnot in my parents' living room, and the men would just relive their war stories and relive their war stories and relive their war stories and oftentimes try to one-up each other. Who had the most harrowing experience on the battlefield, that kind of bullshit. And it just kept him in that loop of reliving that horrific time in their lives. And so, I sit out with my friends every morning, every afternoon and evening. We sit and visit, chit-chat, and sometimes we play games, sometimes we don't. But what I've realized is we sit out there and tell our war stories. Now, some of them are hilarious, about raising kids and the stuff that our kids did or the mistakes that we as new mamas made, that kind of stuff. Those are fun to tell because they don't come with a negative energy. But we also tell stories about how we were wounded, which is good when you're going through your healing processes to share that and get some insight from other people who love and care about you and might be able to help you through it. But to continually tell those stories over and over again keeps you in a negative energy loop. And so my spirit team has been talking to me about that, and I didn't recognize it until this morning when they kind of hit me with a loud gong and said, "This is what we're talking about. Don't do this anymore." And I went, oh, don't relive the war stories because it's keeping me in that negative loop. you know, a lot of the stuff, the stories that I tell is stuff I've already worked on, done my shadow work on, healed from, but I'm bringing it back up and it's just reigniting that negative energy. So chew on that. See what you think. Okay. Let's see what they got to say with the cards this morning. They've been really talking to me a lot lately, y'all. Of course, I've been making time for that. That's part of it. You got to make the time. Strength. Mm-hmm. So, I hate putting negative energy right out here on the reading, but overnight, we started a war with Iran. And this is part of the only getting worse before it gets better. We're going to need strength in the coming weeks and months. And where do we get that strength? We press in, we plug in, we power up. We spend time with our spirit team. When things start going south, we pull back into our spirit, get direction, get wisdom, get understanding. That's how we have that strength to face anything that comes up. It's going to be a difficult time. So, Page of Swords, we can fight through this. We're learning still how to fight through this, but we can fight through this. We have the strength, we have the knowledge, we have the connection to spirit that helps us in these types of battles. Queen of Pentacles, the universe is going to provide for us through this time. It may get a little tight and a little scary for a minute, but don't lose your focus. Don't lose your focus. Don't. Yep. Do you see? 2 of Swords. She's blindfolded because she's got to make a choice. And so do you. We make choices all day, every day. The choice in this particular situation is, are we going to get into fear, or are we going to trust the universe to guide us, to put us in the right place at the right time, to provide for us? Are we going to get into fear? That's the choice. Or are we going to stay in faith? And the 8 of Cups, there's a big change and a shift coming. It's coming in fast. And that's why we have to keep our connection. You know, our spiritual GPS is our connection to source. And just like on GPS, if you're not paying attention, you can miss your exit. And then you may have to go out of your way. I know, especially out here in the desert Southwest, if you miss an exit, you might go 10, 15, 20 miles before you can get back around where you were supposed to be. Yeah. So make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you're staying connected. Make sure that connection to source is your biggest priority, because you don't want to be caught out. You don't want to miss your exit. You don't want to miss your entrance ramp. That's another thing. You know, oh, this is where we're supposed to get on and start moving faster. You don't want to miss that, y'all. So keep your connection to spirit as your highest priority right now, especially right now. Okay? Let me know what y'all think. Love y'all. See you next time.